top Typhoon Haiyan survivors in the Philippines Ormoc and Tacloban joined Tzu Chi's volunteer training seminars. 132 DaAi homes in Monjaras, Honduras are completed for victims of the 2011 flood. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. As Tzu Chi's emergency relief work has come to an end in the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers in both Ormoc and Tacloban held volunteer training seminars for local residents to learn more about the Tzu Chi Foundation.
Before sunrise at 5:30 in the morning, 16 Tzu Chi volunteers are at Late Normal University to get ready for the first volunteer training seminar in Tacloban City of the Philippines.
How much time do you work here?
50 minutes. 1 hour.
As long as I can volunteer and help others, I will be very happy. The drizzling rain and long distances do not deter local residents who are determined to participate in the event. One by one, crowds of people pour into the seminar venue.
My wish is for these people who will be trained to also help the people of Tacloban or the people of Leyte.
Though blind, Pablo Emascol, Associate Professor at Late Normal University, is compassionate and wise at heart. He was the one who made the distributions possible in December for tens of thousands of disaster survivors.
We may have different religions, but we live under one blue sky, sharing that we should be one in union. We should be together.
Knowing that there are no religious or ethnic boundaries in Tzu Chi, nearly 2,000 local residents, over 700 more than the 1,250 anticipated, show up at the training seminar venue. Volunteers quickly bring chairs to accommodate the unexpected crowds.
I want to join Tzu Chi's big family.
Many bodhisattvas came with a heart of gratitude. Upon learning of our training program, they wanted to contribute their share and take part in the seminar.
Participants feel the warmth and love of Tzu Chi through the sign language song of One Family. As they put on the grey volunteer uniforms, a sense of hope and liveliness is also being restored here in Tacloban. Meanwhile, in Ormoc City, Tzu Chi volunteers ready 1,000 chairs for participants of the volunteer training seminar.
At first, we were a bit worried because only some 400 participants showed up.
Soon, local residents fill up all the empty chairs, with some even sitting on the grandstand seats. Following Tzu Chi's Cash for Work program, the first 2 volunteer training seminars here in Ormoc attracted a total of 7,500 participants.
I am very grateful to Master Zheng Yan, though I have never met her in person.
I want to learn more about Tzu Chi, so I am here to take part in the seminar.
Among the participants, Glinda made sure to finish her chores before coming to attend Tzu Chi's event. She was so excited that she did not sleep the whole night.
I learned the value of life and how to treat others with love despite coming from different faiths.
We're sharing Tzu Chi's humanitarian spirit with them in hopes of inspiring compassion in their hearts.
Though 90% of the residents in Ormoc are Catholic, religious barriers are nowhere in evidence here today.
Also in the Philippines, previously Tzu Chi helped erect 34 prefabricated classrooms in the city of Tacloban and Ormoc. And on January 11th, the 8th Relief Mission team from Taiwan arrived in Tacloban to follow up on the progress of the prefab classrooms, while also inspecting other schools in the vicinity that may need assistance.
Upon arriving in Manila, 20 volunteers from Taiwan immediately board a chartered plane and head for Tacloban City. The team arrives at their destination an hour later, only to be greeted by a heavy downpour outside. However, the rain does not dispel their enthusiasm, as volunteers immediately set off to the construction site to inspect the progress of the prefabricated classrooms.
I'm currently in Tacloban City's San Joaquin, where Typhoon Haiyan destroyed this elementary school beyond recognition. Of the school's 500 students, 67 lost their lives.
2 months since the disaster, the lives of residents seem to be returning to normal. However, just across the street, the San Joaquin Elementary School still lie in ruins. Seeing the volunteers arrive, children rush over to greet them.
Pumasok sa eskwelahan?
Oo.
Ha?
Opo.
There is mud everywhere. The only place not covered by mud are the basketball courts, so we decided to set up 3 prefab classrooms there.
Trying to fulfill the school's needs and the children's yearning for school, volunteers do the best they can. Although the ongoing rain hampered the progress of assembling the prefab classrooms, however, it gave the Tzu Chi volunteers from the construction team a chance to review and improve the overall quality of the structure.
包括这奥莫独鲁万啊，然后我们第2站还会到奥莫克去。
Our next destination is Ormoc. We want to equip the residents there with technical skills so that they will be able to operate on their own.
Understanding just how important it is for children to return to school as soon as possible, local residents braved the rain to make up for lost time. Concerned about the residents' safety while working in the rain, volunteers come up with an idea.
It's for their protection. Otherwise, if it gets wet, it will blow.
A true friend is known in times of adversity. It is hoped that in the coming days, these cities may hear the sound of children's laughter in classrooms once again.
Donations to help disaster survivors in the Philippines continue to pour into the Tzu Chi Foundation as both South Africa and New York residents give to help the less fortunate. Local Tzu Chi volunteers in South Africa take to the streets in Tembisa, while those in New York sent out letters to ask for donations. To help those suffering from Typhoon Haiyan, New York Tzu Chi volunteers sent out over 1,300 letters asking for donations. The response the office received was overwhelming, especially from Hurricane Sandy survivors.
After we mailed them, we had about 10 responses a day, sometimes even 20.
Some of last year's Hurricane Sandy disaster survivors sent checks, others sent us their filled bamboo coin banks. No matter what method, we hope this compassion for others can continue.
Letters and donations of gratitude came from areas that Tzu Chi helped in the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy, including the Rockaways and Staten Island.
应该有将近100吧。
很多我们的志工能够把握这样的。
Many of our volunteers were able to turn this affinity into more than just a single donation. They have inspired residents to join as Tzu Chi members and expanded this one charitable act to influence society at large.
影响整个社会。
Meanwhile, Tzu Chi volunteers in South Africa are hitting the streets to inspire locals to give a little. Tembisa is 20 kilometers north from Johannesburg, and every month, Tzu Chi volunteers will pay this area a visit to care for their residents.
They haven't got mothers, some of them. The mothers, they haven't got children.
Local Tzu Chi volunteer Salamina brought the news of the disaster in the Philippines to inspire community residents' compassion.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Helping her to canvass for donations are Tzu Chi care recipients, like Nandipa, who has mobility issues but nonetheless is here doing her part.
From the bottom of my heart, I did it with my heart and love, and I hope they will get the help they need.
And this group of Tzu Chings was eager to participate to continue the cycle of love.
After the school finals, they were keen to help. They had heard about the disaster in the Philippines, so all of our New Shoot Scholarship recipients wanted to participate.
It's this sort of enthusiasm that inspires local businessmen, those passing by in the car, or even strangers on the street to pull out their money and donate to the less fortunate. In Malaysia's Kota Kinabalu, a new recycling point in Tampurli town was opened half a year ago. The ground was provided by Tzu Chi volunteer Zhu Zhenzhong and his wife. Thanks to the couple's selfless contribution, the recycling point has become one of the most popular recycling sites in Kota Kinabalu.
Located in Tampurli town, this is Tzu Chi's 18th recycling point in Kota Kinabalu, which opened 6 months ago. The premises was provided by Tzu Chi volunteer Zhu Zhenzhong.
踏入慈济
After I joined Tzu Chi, I learned that life is impermanent, so we need to seize the opportunity to sow the field of blessings and invite members of our community to join our ranks.
让这些四周那些居民或者是大德们一起来参与。
Zhu's family members, including his mother, wife, and siblings, all support his volunteer work and join him in recycling too.
With this recycling point, our neighbors can bring their recyclables here. Even though we don't make money from sorting recyclables, it doesn't matter.
Without this recycling point, these valuable resources are discarded as garbage. That will be a waste.
Several local residents come regularly to lend a helping hand.
Joining other volunteers in practicing recycling makes me happy, and I love it. I know as we sort recyclables, we are at the same time helping more people like myself or those who are worse off than I am.
Motivated by the selfless spirit of the Zhu family, more and more residents contribute a little of their efforts to safeguard our environment.
Back in October of 2011, torrential rain caused extensive flooding in the Central American country of Honduras. Tzu Chi volunteers from the U.S. came and enlisted the help of local resident Zhang Hongcai to carry out disaster relief and rebuilding in the hard-hit Choluteca. Then in 2012, 28 prefabricated homes were completed in Moncovia's Monjaras. And now 2 years later, another 132 permanent DaAi homes have been completed to shelter the flood victims.
It is a beautiful January day in Honduras, and 12 Tzu Chi volunteers from the United States are in Moncovia's Monjaras once again. Local volunteer Zhang Hongcai introduces the newly completed DaAi community and its occupants to his U.S. counterparts, who are here to celebrate the completion of 160 homes.
It is better to have a compassionate heart than to own a big house. These DaAi homes to residents in the United States may be worse off than their garage, but under the same circumstances, for the residents of Honduras, these homes are invaluable treasures. These people are so simple, so pure. They express their joy through their words and expressions, and you can tell that they are genuinely happy from the bottom of their heart.
En mi vida he sido un ingeniero. I am an engineer. In my life, I have taken on many projects, of which some were over several million US. However, I have learned the most from this small project. I must thank you all. I'm truly overjoyed. Now that you have your own home, my greatest wish has been realized. Thank you. When people interact with one another, what is the most important is the love inside each person's heart. So yes, I believe they really feel the love I have for them. And I can feel inside that they understand. And when you can understand each other like this, that is.
I must thank you, Engineer Zhang Hongcai. He had to build 3 more houses. One of them belongs to me. Now my house is complete.
Siento bien feliz, gozosa, ¿verdad?
I feel that I'm very fortunate and blessed. I have never dreamed of owning my own home, a home surrounded by 4 walls and a roof. Now I can finally tell myself that if it rains tomorrow, it's all right because I can find shelter inside my house. Now that I have received aid, it's time to reciprocate. From the bottom of my heart, I truly want to give.
Love circulates between those who give and those who receive. In the 1 year it took to complete the homes, Monjaras residents have become part of Zhang Hongcai's Tzu Chi family.
Besides a ceremony to celebrate the completion of permanent DaAi homes, U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers and others also held a year-end blessing ceremony and training seminar. Some 2 years ago, Honduras volunteer Zhang Hongcai could only muster 20 residents to help him with flood relief distributions. Now, with the completion of the DaAi community in Monjaras, over 700 local residents took part in the year-end blessing ceremony. This was all thanks to Zhang's relentlessness.
At Tzu Chi's year-end blessing ceremony in the village of Monjaras in Honduras, the villagers' children choir serenades one Tzu Chi song after another, calming hearts with their innocent voice. Parents and their children are also brought closer together through a tea offering ceremony. Always working alongside his father, Zhang Youqin also respectfully offers a cup of tea to his father, Zhang Hongcai. Over the past 2 years, the young man witnessed his father's transformation while toiling over the new DaAi community in Monjaras.
For his efforts over the past couple of years, to my father, today is the most important. I know what he went through has humbled him. He has really changed a lot.
From the U.S., Ge Jijue befriended Zhang Hongcai during the flood relief of 2011. In time, the two became as close as brothers and always cheered each other on.
他说，当很多苦碰到了一些逆境，碰到了一些烦恼的事。
At times when he ran into troubles, he couldn't wait to go home to his study and meditate in front of Master Zheng Yan's photo. My heart ached for him when I heard about this. I told him, Hongcai, this is your challenge, but it is also a great opportunity. Continue on, even though the road is tough. Just keep Master Zheng Yan in your heart, and you shall overcome. Seeing him on the stage today hugging his team members, the Markovia volunteers, I believe all the U.S. volunteers were moved to tears. This has been an arduous journey.
我想所有美国团队大家都哭了，这条路走来不容易。
In Honduras, Tzu Chi's work has only just begun. Though it will be a long road, Zhang Hongcai will not walk it alone.
In Jordan, as the temperature is now dropping below 0 degrees Celsius at night, Tzu Chi volunteers who were worried for the members of the Bedouin tribe brought winter aid supplies to help some 220 families in a few areas, including Wadi Rum, a famous tourist destination.
Wadi Rum, the biggest dry desert south of Jordan, features sandstone and granite rocks that stand as tall as castles. The desert is known to many as the Valley of the Moon, and the magnificent scenery offered at sunset has attracted many tourists over the years. However, with few visitors following the Syrian political unrest, it is Tzu Chi volunteers who are here instead with winter aid supplies.
This is the first time we're holding an aid distribution here at Wadi Rum. It feels really special.
Less tourists visiting means less income for the locals. Thus, to help, Tzu Chi volunteers are distributing 20 kilo bags of rice, cooking oil, and daily necessities. Besides Wadi Rum, Jordan Tzu Chi volunteers also travel to Wadi Fanan, Al Thaigra, and Albasi, south of the capital of Amman, to hold aid distributions. Despite their harsh living conditions, the children are all smiles upon receiving candies from the volunteers.
Our sister is teaching them recycling concepts.
Apart from food supplies, Tzu Chi volunteers also provide boxes of winter clothing. Moved by Tzu Chi's help, the youngsters help decorate the venue, while the adults bow to Master Zheng Yan's portraits to express their gratitude. The village head, like previous years, take out one filled bamboo coin bank to continue the cycle of love. Though having to travel long distances, Tzu Chi volunteers bring love and warmth to Jordan's needy residents in their times of need.
Also holding winter aid distributions are Tzu Chi volunteers in China. The Angels in Blue and White recently provided aid for 2,660 needy households in Quanzhou City of Fujian Province. Inspired by the volunteers' selfless dedication, several local residents also showed up to help out.
Like this senior, several aid recipients arrived at the distribution site as early as 5 o'clock in the morning to pick up Tzu Chi's relief items. Considerate volunteers prepared ginger tea and the snacks to warm their stomachs and hearts. Among the local volunteers is Li Wenhai, a successful businessman who decided to join his wife in helping out at the distribution site.
Seeing so many people in need, we learn how blessed we are.
I saw a woman calling a senior resident grandma. I thought they are related, but later I realized that she is actually a Tzu Chi volunteer. Seeing how you treat everyone like your family really moved me.
The volunteer's sincere care and love was well received by Grandpa Tzu, who was so touched by Master Zheng Yan's consolation letter that he read it countless times.
Master Zheng Yan is truly great.
Seeing how Tzu Chi volunteers treat each recipient like their own family, countless local volunteers decide to join the effort.
As members of the public, we should do our part to show more compassion and love to our fellow citizens. Whether you are able or disabled, you can do your part for the less fortunate.
When I was helping carrying bags of rice, I learned that everything is difficult at the start. However, once you go through the difficult part, everything will become easier and smoother.
Through their selfless dedication to the aid distribution, volunteers young and old have become even more determined to pay their love forward.
In affluent Shenzhen resides a humble cobbler, Wang Guoming, who suffered an accident when young. The accident left a lasting impression on his body, hindering his height and breathing. Although short in stature, his spirit is not, and his sense of responsibility and optimism is twice that of a normal person. In Shenzhen, Guangdong Province, Wang Guoming's shoe repair shop gets many repeat customers. Due to an accident when young, Wang's height and chest cavity was impaired. Now even breathing is a problem.
Today is a little cold. I'm having a hard time breathing. Yes, right here.
Although disabled physically, his determination has not been affected.
First rule of doing business is learning how to be a good person. Be honest, don't cheat or lie.
The medical expenses that comes with this condition does not worry him, as with his own two hands, Wang manages to make ends meet. Counting his blessings, he is glad to have a roof over his head.
I slept among the trees for a year. At night, the rats would bite my toes. I also slept underneath bridges. When it rained, my blankets would get washed away in the flash floods. It was all for my family.
He has really done so much for this family. Honestly, other normal husbands might not have been able to do as much as he has.
Wang's motivation comes from the love of his family, and his decision to sign an organ donation card is another of his gifts to society. At the end of today's show, we will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.